Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great week. Just want to do a quick kind of tutorial video on renewal pruning. Some people don't know that you can take like your burning bush or your dogwoods down pretty low at the end of March. It's actually one of the best times to do it. So I appreciate you guys stopping by today. This channel we might talk about gardening or drones. You just never know. Usually when I do a video I like to keep a drone in the air just to do an overhead. Today I'm using the Hubsan Zino. So basically what I like to do is I like to start between 18 and 20 inches, cut, and I usually take a yardstick. Some people feel it's pretty extreme to cut them this low, but they really do respond well if you cut them at the right time. So I'm going to go 18 inches. You really need a nice sharp pair of loppers. I've got 2 burning bushes here and a dogwood. Just for the video purpose, I'm just going to do this one, and then I'm going to do the rest of them, and then we'll come back in maybe 2 months. We'll see how well they recuperated. So some people call it renewal pruning. There's also rejuvenational pruning. Rejuvenational pruning is something that you might do to your spirea, where you take it down to about 6 to 8 inches. Kind of the same theory. I actually think this is a mixture of renewal and rejuvenation pruning here. Sometimes these tend to get pretty big in the summertime, and depending on where you have them. If they're out in the open, some people might just let these grow and just trim them every year, and you know what? You'd be fine doing that. You don't have to do this particular procedure. However, if it gets to the point where sometimes they might be underneath a flagpole, like underneath your, when you come into your door, well, for instance, I take care of some townhomes, and when you come up to their front door, right off the door is a nice big burning bush. And the problem is they get so big, then they hit their flagpoles. So what I've been doing this week, because it's a perfect time of year to do this to your burning bush, but that's what I've been doing at the townhomes I take care of. And I tell you what, people are freaking out because they just don't understand. But it was the board's decision to do it, and it's not a bad idea. At first they look a little unsightly. Now, if you really like the multi-stem, then just don't take as much off. You know, it would take off maybe up to here. Again, late March, before the leaves start coming out, is a good time to do it. I've done it in December, and I've done it this time of year. You seem to do better when you do it in the spring because they're ready to grow. You can cut them, you know. Sometimes in the wintertime, be careful. You never know if you get a warm spell. Say if you cut them in the winter, like in December, and we get a warm spell at the end of February and things start wanting to bud, it might not be all that great for it. So sometimes they respond better and you do them in March. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to do this one next, but basically this is what I wanted to talk about in this short video. Again, this is a burning bush, and I've got a red twig dogwood over here. I'm going to do the same thing to. Now, on the red twig dogwoods, well, you would do the same thing here. If you see a dead branch, you'll notice, if you have red twig dogwoods, you may notice from time to time the canes they die. It's called anthracnose. It's a disease that is very common in these trees, and other than the appearance, it usually doesn't kill them as long as you take care of them. And what I mean by that is, in the same time of year that you do the burning bush, you would take off all the dead canes. Now, ideally, if you can get these down all the way to the ground, that's your best bet. And then, as far as the red canes that are left over, you can take them down just to the same height, or the exactly same height that you're taking your burning bush down. At least that's what I'm going to do today. When we come back in a couple months, we'll see how well they rejuvenated. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. Hopefully the Hubsan Zino is doing a good job catching an overhead for us. It's a fairly calm morning, so I thought it'd be a good morning to do this. So please subscribe to my channel and give us a like. Thank you all and have a great day.
Could it be prehistory? As watchful as start learning, it's up to you.